Should we continue with this
Actually,
tell our friend that what happened after leaving Palestine shortly, because we discussed it
please
before.
Do, as you please. No, as you please, whatever you like.
Shukran for
In the limited time, inshallah, I'll try to say everything and yet leave time for him to translate. The first thing one should remember is that there are only two sources for us to depend on for our information as to what happened to Jesus Christ and what God had told him himself. And that is, number one, the Holy Quran. Number two, the Bible, New Testament. The principle which every Muslim must agree with is that wherever the Holy Bible is in disagreement with the Quran, then the Quranic statement will be taken as valid, and that part of the biblical statement which disagrees will be believed, and we can prove it, of course, as well, to be an interpolation by man. People must have added. But wherever both are in agreement, it is impossible for any sane Muslim to disagree with that conclusion. So regarding his hijrah, I'll tell you a verse of the Holy Quran and a verse of the Bible, which will point at the same thing. That means that no Muslim has a right to disagree with that pointing of the two verses of the Bible and the Quran at the same spot. The first statement we read about the proposed hijrah or impending hijrah of Jesus Christ in the New Testament is that he said to his people that I am going to leave you and go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that is very important. Who were the lost sheep? Where had they gone? Without determining it, we cannot proceed further. And when we read the history, we know that many hundred years before Jesus Christ came, 200 or more years before that, or about 400 maybe, I'm not very sure of the dates, but hundreds of years before that, Nebuchadnezzar invaded the northern Israel, and 10 tribes, which is called Judea. The state, was it Palestine or Judea? Palestine. Invaded Palestine, and the 10 tribes of Israel which occupied that area, they were taken away as prisoners all together. And the land was left for others from their country to come and occupy. And later on some Jews started returning and occupying the same area, but it happened slowly, gradually in history. Most of the tribes which were thus taken prisoners and removed from their homeland migrated further on into the eastern countries. And here I am telling you the verdict of the specialists on this subject who are not Muslims, who are Christians mostly. They say that the people of Afghanistan and Kashmir are part of the same Israelites who migrated to these areas, and the living proof of that is that their nomenclature, their features, their style of life is everything reminiscent of the Israelites, and they have nothing in common with the people of the subcontinent India and Pakistan or Iran, etc. They're completely different from them. So that shows that they were actually the Israelites who had gone there and settled. The maximum end, the remotest end in that whole journey is established to be Kashmir, because the Kashmiris in their features, nomenclature and style of life are so much so like Israelites or the people of the house of Israel that some scholars, I've read a scholar saying that if you want to envision how Israelite women used to spend the daily life around a lake, etc., around a watering place, they should go to Lake Dal in Kashmir and see the Kashmiri women clad in the same style, same attires, and carrying all the earthenware over their head, and behaving exactly as we know in history that Israelite ladies used to behave long, long ago. So they said their style, their bearing, their features, everything is exactly the same. So these are the proofs, historical proofs, and the biblical indication that Jesus must go to deliver the message to these remaining tribes of Israel, or his mission would not be completed. The second verse, which is in the Holy Quran on the subject, is وَرَسُولٌ إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلِ. He was made a prophet of Allah, a messenger to the entire Bani Israel, the house of Israel, not for the two tribes which remained there. So his mission could not have completed without delivering the message to all the tribes. That is exactly what he himself said. So where the Quran and Bible are in agreement, you must agree, must accept that it. But there is more to it. The Holy Quran speaks of his hijrah and says that a time was to come, according to this the description of the Quran, where he and his mother both were threatened. What did God do? فَآوَيْنَهُمَا إِلَىٰ رَبْوَةٍ ذَاتِ قَرَارٍ وَمَعِينٍ. We rescued them from the danger and provided them shelter in a place which was mountainous with plateaus, and which had plenty of water. Fountains sprang here and there, and there was perfect peace. Now, this is a finger pointing at an area which seems to be a beautiful description of Kashmir. The finger of the Bible is also pointing at the same thing. The Israelites had settled earlier, and the third finger of the Holy Quran also indicates at the same, that this man must have delivered his mission, otherwise his mission will remain incomplete. He is Rasulun ila Bani Israel. He had to do it. So obviously we must expect him after crucifixion to travel to Kashmir and deliver the message there. After he was made a prophet, not before. Because how could he deliver the message before he was made a prophet? And his life after the age when he claimed to be the prophet and which created such uproar in the society is very well known, well recorded. During the period between his claim and crucifixion, he didn't leave Palestine, didn't disappear and went to Kashmir. He must have done it afterwards. But the problem is that the Muslim scholars would have us believe that instead of keeping his promise and following and pursuing the routes of Israelite immigrants, migrants to other lands, he ascended to heaven. So where did he keep his promise? Why did he break his promise? Do you believe that Israelites had also ascended before him and the lost sheep had ascended to heaven? So if they had not ascended to heaven, then Jesus must have told a lie if they are right. Because he said, I am going to deliver the message to the lost sheep. Instead of doing that, he just turned and disappeared in the heavens somewhere. But according to our understanding, the thing is very clear and very, well jointed, and it makes sense that after crucifixion he must have been saved by Allah. He must have been given time, and then he must have gone along the routes of the earlier Israelites who in Exodus, of this second Exodus, had gone over, and they, in fact, the Israelites call it diaspora. So during this period of diaspora, when they spread out to the whole world, he must have followed the same routes and delivered his message to the remaining tribes. Now before Sayyid Hilmi Shafi begins to translate it, let me add one thing. The Holy Quran speaks of giving shelter also to his mother. Now, if that shelter was given at the fourth sky, why was not mother carried? So in the first instance, Jesus seems to be not a truthful person if he went to heaven. In the second instance, Allah does not seem to be a truthful person. Because he forgets his mother and mentions in the Holy Quran that we gave shelter to both and saved them from the enemy's designs and removed them to a place which is a description of Kashmir. Right?
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.